And now the BJP is raining fire on Rahul Gandhi. BJP has accused Rahul Gandhi of instigating the ruckus during Prime Minister's speech yesterday in Lok Sabha. It was a fiery session yesterday. Prime Minister's speech happened, which was a part of the motion of thanks to the President's address. But during Prime Minister's speech, there was a lot of sloganeering, in fact, continuous sloganeering by the opposition leaders. And now BJP has accused leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi of instigating that ruckus during Prime Minister's speech yesterday in Lok Sabha. Remember, Prime Minister made some fiery attacks against the opposition, specifically the Congress party. And CNN News 18's Payal Mehta is now joining us with more details on these allegations that have been put by the BJP against Rahul Gandhi for instigating the ruckus. Payal, over to you.
Well, of course, we've been able to exclusively access some footage where you can actually see Rahul Gandhi giving instructions to the opposition MPs to go and stand on the floor of the House to, in fact, go ahead and create ruckus as well, something which was very, very unprecedented, given the fact that the Prime Minister and the entire Council of Ministers and the entire Treasury benches very patiently and quietly listened to what Rahul Gandhi was saying, even though he was instigating them time and again. But we did see that, they were, in fact, only getting up to counter points. And that also in a very organized manner. There were union ministers who were getting up. There's no ruckus on the floor of the House. But similarly, you saw that, in the footage that we've been able to access, you can actually see Rahul Gandhi instigating people, telling people to go here and they're telling them to shout slogans as well. And something which, of course, exposes what the Congress party stands for is the allegation of the BJP. The BJP essentially has been saying that this is an anarchist behavior. It's not a behavior which actually behoves the office of the leader of the opposition.
Also, Payal, does this kind of behavior suit the leader of the opposition? Rahul Gandhi holds a very significant position in the Lok Sabha now.
Well, absolutely. That's exactly what the footage is going to expose. The footage is going to expose as to what happened during that time. Why was it that Rahul Gandhi himself was asking leaders to go up and down? You can see in the footage that Rahul Gandhi is signaling to the leaders to come down, signaling them to keep shouting slogans as well. Is this something which the leader of the opposition really should be doing? That's the question that the government is asking. That's the question that the NDA is really asking, that, Rahul Gandhi is a very responsible behavior that should be backing him, given the fact that he's the leader of the opposition. It's a constitutional position. It's a position of a cabinet minister. Should he or she be seen doing this? That's the question that the NDA is really asking. And once again, saying that probably this is the reason that they feel they have the numbers in place. But why was it that, Rahul Gandhi did not object to anything else, That was the question that was being asked. They basically are saying that, when he was speaking, did anybody go to the well? Did any of the members of the Treasury benches shout slogans, etc.? They were just listening to what he was saying. And of course, Prime Minister Modi, Union Home Minister Mr. Amit Shah, Rajnath Singh, the Defence Minister, various ministers just stood up and took the permission of the chair to counter what Rahul Gandhi was really saying. So obviously, that's something which is a difference of behavior. But, the behaving of this office of Rahul Gandhi is something which the government is now questioning.
Right. Also, do we have any reaction coming in from the Congress party over these allegations?
Well, we have to just wait and see, because we've just been able to access this footage. The footage is there for our viewers to see and take a call as to how they would want the leader of the opposition to really behave. We'll have to just wait and see. I'm sure the Congress party will have its own defense, but in the footage you can clearly see Rahul Gandhi signaling to his party colleagues, get up, come down, come and shout on the floor of the House. In fact, can be seen personally effectively doing this. There are many leaders of the opposition who are standing right behind him. There's Dayanidhi Maran, there's of course Dimple Yadav amongst the others. You did not see any of them, in fact, signaling to anybody else to come and come. And even though yesterday we saw footage, when the leaders were shouting right under the bench, the Prime Minister was standing, even though the Prime Minister did not get rattled, he kept on speaking. He continued his speech for 2.5 hours, and for the entire 2.5 hour period, there was shouting of slogans. There were, of course, people in the well. Despite multiple warnings by the speaker, they did not really move from there. And on one occasion, you can also see that the Prime Minister offered a glass of water to the Congress MPs because he thought they would have been tired, shouting these slogans for 2.5 hours.
All right, Payal, please stay with us. We're being joined by BJP's RP Singh on this story. Sir, very good morning to you. So, your party has accused Rahul Gandhi, the leader of opposition in Lok Sabha, of instigating the ruckus that took place during Prime Minister's speech yesterday. And in the visuals also, it can be seen him calling the other opposition leaders to raise slogans. Your reaction on this?
Well, there are videos on record. Where he's seen instigating, and he's really not even stop. I mean, if he's not instigating, then he should have stopped his people. He stopped his MPs from creating the ruckus in the parliament. When he was speaking, he was heard quietly, and then no one created any ruckus. But it is the other way around. I mean, that's what happened when Prime Minister spoke on Manipur in the last parliament also. At that time also, they created ruckus and walked out. This time they, for 2.5 hours, almost 2 hours, 25 minutes, they ongoingly created ruckus. So this clearly shows the intent of the opposition. He and how he want to take the parliament forward as LOP. What is his mindset as LOP? I mean, he's a leader of the opposition, and the parliament is there for debates, not for creating ruckus or not for creating hurdles when the Prime Minister speaks. But there's a new opposition. This how the coming days the Parliament will run, and then the Treasury benches have to deal with such ruckus now, and then the country will also see through this that how people who have been sent for to debate on subject and issue are being resistant in the Parliament.
Right. Also, how does the BJP now plans to take this issue forward?
Well, there are parliamentary norms. We'll appreciate Speaker should use all those protocols to ensure that this doesn't happen in future, and then ensure that the right action is against all those who created that ruckus within the well of the Parliament. I mean, they came from the seats to the well of the Parliament, and they didn't want to hear the Prime Minister, and they didn't want people of the country to hear what Prime Minister is saying, because whatever Prime Minister was telling the country about how the 10 years the government has performed, what is their future agenda, they didn't want people of the country to hear that, and then that's why they were trying to create this ruckus. We'll appreciate that the Speaker should indulge into this and ensure that this doesn't happen again.
Right. And even during the ruckus, Prime Minister Modi also took pot shots at the opposition, saying that understand their pain.
Well, there is no doubt that because when you don't have content, when you don't have idea and subjects to discuss in the Parliament, you make noise. And then whatever Rahul Gandhi said in the Parliament as a leader of opposition, it didn't have content. He was trying to divide the country on basis of religion, one, and trying to degrade Hindu religion. And then his focus was, again, continuation of what he has been doing during the election, and it was continuation of that. And he probably thought that he is in a public meeting, and he tried to build up on the same narrative which he was doing outside the Parliament during elections, and then that is demeaning Hindus.
All right, Mr. R.P. Singh, thank you so much for speaking to CNN News 18. CNN News 18's Payal Mehta continues to stay with us. Payal, so BJP is clearly saying that these visuals and Rahul Gandhi instigating this ruckus clearly shows the intent of the opposition.
Well, of course, when the Congress party came back to the Lok Sabha this time around, they were a much larger strength. Remember, they were a strength of 99 in comparison to the 50 odd that they already had in the last time, which means that people gave them more seats with more responsibility. But the question that is being asked of Rahul Gandhi is that, is this a responsibility which should be displayed by somebody who is a leader of the opposition? Like I've been saying, the leader of the opposition, Anjali is a constitutional position. He or she is like a cabinet minister's rank as well. Should he be marshalling the troops in this manner and creating an anarchist behavior on the floor of the House? That's what the government really has been asking. The government has been saying that, did anybody walk up to Rahul Gandhi? Did anybody try to disturb him while he was speaking? He went on speaking. He made several vile allegations, which have been expunged as well, calling out the Hindus of the country, calling out the BJP and the government on the minority issue, calling out multiple issues. Of course, political issues are something which Rahul Gandhi should actually, call out the government on, because the Prime Minister also has said in the past that it is important to have a very strong opposition. But, is this the way to, in fact, block what the leader of the House was really saying? The Prime Minister is the leader of the House as far as the Lok Sabha is concerned.
Right, Payal. Also, there was a fiery rebuttal from the Prime Minister himself against Rahul Gandhi, calling him Baalak Buddhi yesterday.
Well, of course, the Prime Minister, after not being able to speak, ever since he started to speak, there was ruckus in the House, there were people on the floor of the House. And, the Prime Minister went on and speaking for 2.5 hours. He kept on being disturbed. Although the people were there in the well of the House, the Prime Minister put on his headphones and continued to speak and continued to deliver the message. And he basically saying that, this is a child's play. Rahul Gandhi is probably not grown out of the skin of being the child.